Hello, namaste, and welcome all. Let's spread positivity. Friends, my name is Tarun Tiwari, and I am today's host. This Let's Spread Positivity initiative run by Jeho Foundation. Jeho Foundation founded in 2014 for betterment of all sections of society. Jeho means victory in every aspects of life, mental, physical, and financial. So, friends, before 1 year, we started this campaign, Let's Spread Positivity, where people from all around the world, champions, leaders come and share their journey, positivity with us. People tell me, many times, many people tell us that behind every successful man, there is a woman. But I believe the women play more vital role in this world, inside house and outside. She's not behind now, she's in front, she's in first row. Everywhere you can see women are leading in all around the world. So friends, I'm really blessed. Today we have very special guest with us from Jamaica. She is a nature loving personality. She is an environmentalist, social activist. She is educator. She is motivational speaker. She is director of AFFF Jamaica and executive vice director Global Peace Let's Talk. So welcome, Miss Tamika Williams. We are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining our campaign.
Thank you for having me.
So, before we start our conversation, I would like to request you to please introduce yourself to our audience.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. I am Tamika Williams, mother, author, wife, entrepreneur, environmentalist. I live in Jamaica in the mountains and I operate our family business, the R Rasta Tango Gallery and Garden. And I am the guardian of the arts and culture in global peace. Let's talk.
Wow, that's really great. So, Tamika madam, I just want to know about your early days, your birthplace, how you started, and all. Could you please share your story with us?
I am a typical Caribbean girl where in the decades ago, the Windrush era, when parents had to migrate to leave their children with their grandparents. And my mother left for England, left us with our father, who subsequently left us with our grandparents. So we didn't grow with our mother and our father. My siblings and I, we were raised by our grandparents. And so my philosophy in life, the way that I live, the things that I hold dear, comes from this. I was raised on a farm. We didn't get dolls for gifts. We got a goat. And so we had to it taught us responsibility. We had to take care of this animal or whatever the gift was. If it was a plant, you had to take care of it. I recently said to my husband that I used to get beaten as a child for playing in the soil, in the earth, and I couldn't understand. We would come from church well dressed, and the first place I went was to play in some soil. And I couldn't understand the energy that I got from the soil. And now I'm an adult and I'm a mom, and I get to play in the soil every day. I met my husband when I was very young. I been raised without my mother carried without my parents had its own set of trauma and neglect. My grandparents loved us dearly. They did their best, but they had already raised their children and they were now raising five rambunctious little children.
Right.
So they had to send us off to live with their other children, with our aunts and uncles, and back to them. So we never had a stable place. And I suffered, I was traumatized at 15, at the age of 15, brutally gang raped in high school. And I
Yeah.
have learned, I met my husband shortly after, who took me in, educated me, and assured me that I was worthy and that I am okay, and gave me the guidance where instead of looking at the bad things that have happened to me, not being raised with my mom, look at the blessings of the grandparents who taught me everything that I have and helped me to be the woman I am today and helped me to even make money in my business. Because my grandfather would say, the devil finds work for idle hands. So he always gave us something to do, from craft to cooking to taking care of the house. And all of that I use in my daily life today. For the people who have hurt me or people who are listening, who have suffered the trauma that I had as a young girl of being raped, I was lucky that I met this man who showed me that we do have choices in everything. I had no choice in being raped, but I had a choice in how I chose to survive and how I chose to live after. I had a choice if I was going to allow these people to make me live the rest of my life in fear,
Yes.
or if I was going to embrace all that life had. And one of the things he said to me, you are so lucky they didn't kill you. And that is so true, because I have used this in so many ways. I have, as an educator, I taught for 22 years, in excess of 22 years. As an educator, that trauma from my childhood became a tool for me. It helped me to identify children who were going through that trauma and no one understood and no one knew what to say. And so it's a humbling experience. I have gotten over it. I don't speak much about it. I can't believe you have me speaking about it in this way. I usually just touch the top of it and leave it. But it is necessary to explain why I choose to live in a garden. Because in addition to being a survivor and learning in my head to not be a victim, in some ways, there are things that trigger the emotions and the fear, which is really real. And so the garden has become more than my therapy, more than a place of peace. It's
Yes.
become my survival. So I've learned to, I am not a very, if you follow my Facebook page, I post a lot about the garden, my family, my
Interesting.
community,
Bird. Yeah.
the work we do in the community, nature. And once in a while, I'll post pictures of myself. But I am not the person who, I find I do more through silence. I accomplish more and learn more when I'm quiet. And
From nature.
the garden affords me this ability. And I know that not everybody has the ability to live in a large garden. But today I hope I can encourage them to know that even the
Yes.
smallest of a garden, even a garden on a dinner plate, gives the same energy as a large garden.
Nature. What do you think about nature? What is your view on nature?
My view on nature. Oh my God. Ah, I am nature. I am nature. And unless we realize that we are so interconnected to nature, we will forever have these discussions. I have some people that have influenced the way I feel about nature, and I'll touch on them later in the program. But nature for me is I wake this hour of the morning, I'm happy to be up. I can actually hear the birds. It's still dark outside. One of the things I do every morning is to watch the sunrise. And that just the act of watching the sunrise refuels my energy. I have learned to silence myself, lower my heartbeat, and when I do this, a hummingbird comes on my finger to feed. I feed lizards. I love frogs. I love snakes. I love anything to do with nature. And so it's an environmental, it's an eco place that we have here. We don't burn, we make our own soil because when you burn, you kill the ants. And the Bible says, study the ants. So we have the bees and the ants and nature. There is nothing that is by chance. Every creature, everything that makes this one tree of life that we call nature,
Yes.
everything is interconnected.
Correct.
Everything is interconnected. So you can't take one thing out of the equation because the birds of prey are there to control the population of smaller birds, who in turn control the population of insects, who in turn control the population of microorganisms. And so once you start taking things out or adding things in, it's a recipe for disaster.
Wow,
But nature for me is my life.
that's really good. I really appreciate your words. I mean, it's really good. Tamika, as you are a successful, businesswoman, you're working as a executive voice director with Global Peace Last Talk. You are director of AHHH. So you are a success. Success is different for everyone, but it's always interesting to learn how people arrive where they are. So your story. I mean, what is the biggest factor that has helped you to be successful?
What is success? This is something I ask myself every day. The people that are around you, no matter what platform you're on, no matter how global or far your reach is,
Yes.
unless you can get the people who live in your community, in your homes, your family, the people who see you every day, unless these people know that you're authentic and believe what you do, it is not the money. It is not the money. Yesterday on my TV, I watched one of the world's greatest billionaire that's going through a divorce with his wife now. It is
Yes.
not the money. We require money to be independent and to live for food and finer things in life. But my greatest success, yes, we have a business and it has its challenges, and I try to not speak about the challenges because every person has a challenge. Every person has a challenge and a fear. So my greatest success is I harness the things that I didn't have growing up. I didn't have the care, the nurturing of a parent. And my husband and I have one son. Our son will be 42 in July. And what we have done is we have become parents for especially the young men in our community. I have a few young ladies that call me mom in my community that I mentor, but especially the young men in our community. We become parents for them. They call us mom. We do, and that for me is success. When I see them, when they are able to pick themselves up and realize that they are contributors. So my success is not necessarily one that says I have a lot of diplomas and a lot of money. But if I need help at this moment, I
You
can
have
stick my head out the window and the members of my community comes because
yes,
I am always there. It's not a rich community, so they may not be able to help me with money, but whatever money I have, it's used for the betterment of every person in my community. That to me is success. And
wow, that
most people think success is the job titles. But the people, if you were to ask me about the people that influence my life, every one of them have been brought so low in their lives. And it's only when you are low and in a place where you have to listen to yourself that you
right,
understand the impact that you can make for others and to others. So success for me is being able to, my greatest word that I would like to be remembered for is when I say, I don't believe in giving any person in my community a fish to eat today
that's
because they eat today and then they're hungry tomorrow. I believe in giving them the opportunities and the skills to fish for themselves so that they can feed not only themselves, but their families and teach other people the ripple effect to feed, to fish for
wow,
themselves.
that's really great. I mean, your thinking is really great, Tamika, madam, and we really appreciate. You faced a lot, and you are here like a winner now, and people call you mom. So you earn this much. This much of respect is, beyond the success, and I really want to congratulate you for this success. Anika, coming to the next point, I mean, what is your daily routine and how good habits? Tell us about your good habits.
I love to laugh. I love to laugh. My good habits.
Yes.
I am a carer. I am I'm an empath in the best sense of the word. I feel so deeply. My good habits is taking care of my family, taking care, and my family is not just my husband and my son. That's my best habit is realizing the responsibility I have. As a mother, I know that I have been given the task of guiding this young man that was given to me. And I use the same principle in business and in the garden. I think the best person to ask about my good habits is my husband. But I love to laugh and I I am not a perfectionist. I
Okay.
am not a perfectionist. One
Okay.
of my one of my one of the persons I emulate, I never met, I only grew up hearing about him. He said, what good is freedom if we aren't given the freedom to make mistakes? So I don't believe in perfection because this is something that we will never attain.
Never.
Perfection is something that if we think we are perfect, we think we know it all and we have nothing else to learn.
Yes.
So I am not perfect and I embrace that about myself and I make mistakes. And I give you a quick joke.
Yes.
Yesterday we're in the garden and we're doing something. We're fixing an area and I'm telling my husband that he's not to move something. He's to let our son do it. Our son is younger and physically more able. And the young lady who works with us is there. And I said, my husband is an artist. And I said, he needs his eyes so that he can see to paint. And he needs his hands. And I know he's going to think I'm going to say to paint. And I said, he needs his hands to hug me. And everybody just laughed. Everybody just laughed because they didn't expect me to say that. It is just finding a light moment to make sure. And my greatest thing is, if you notice before this interview, we have been communicating by WhatsApp, We have been communicating by video. It is very important that I know people. I cannot share myself with anyone if I don't know you. Just a name, just a click, I cannot do it. It is not me. It is okay for some people, but for me,
Yes.
I must make some kind of a connection. So, in that sense, I might be a little bit picky, but I have to know something about you, your energy. I have to feel your energy before, or if when I communicated with you and I didn't feel your energy,
Yes.
I would find an excuse and I wouldn't be here this morning.
Wow. Your time is 5 a.m. now. 5,
Yes.
5, I think. So coming to the next point, and as you know, this let's spread positivity. People from more than 29 country will watch this video. So, what is the best advice you can give to all our followers, our
To be
people?
positive.
Yes.
What is positivity? It's the same thing I said. There is no perfection. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes. And in order to be positive, you have to know what negative is. You have to know the opposite. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, they were imprisoned. And that is when they came to a place of silence and understand the importance and the strength and power in moving things through silence and positivity. You have to embrace the negative side before you can be positive. But positive and negative are, and they're energies. And if you look at a house, the way you build a house, you have to use positive energy and negative energy. It's how you use them. You must know the difference. You must know them. But positivity for me is the thing that makes me feel nice inside. There are some people that I have met and they seem really nice and they say all the right things. But whenever I communicate with them, whether it's email, whether it's over the phone, whether it's in person, I leave their presence so down, so drained. These people I eliminate from my circle. I don't want them around me. They have negative energy. There are people when I leave their presence. Oh, I want to see them again. I want to talk to them. I just want to call them. It's almost like when you are in love for the first time and you just have to speak to this person all the time. People who can revive that in you and that type of positivity. It is something that makes it better. And for children, animals, and plants, you ask me, everything ties in. Nature, children, animals, and plants. You cannot fool them. If you are negative, they run away from you. They die, that they won't come to you. So the measure of any person who says, I
Wow.
am peaceful, I am positive. Look at their environment. Look at how they behave with animals, how they take care of the plants. Look at I have I know a lot of people who say they're avid gardeners and they love the garden, but they hate lizards, they hate frogs, they hate snakes, they hate this, they hate that. And you cannot have positivity and embrace hate. You have to learn. Yes, you can fear it. I respect fear because there are things that I fear. And I respect when you're afraid of something. But don't tell me that you have to squash something because you hate it. And if you have the mentality that you're going to squash a bug because you hate it, not because you fear it, because you hate it, it's the same mentality you transfer when you decide that you hate a human being.
Right. Correct. Correct. Wow. Very well said. Very well said, Tamika madam. And people are watching us. Nikki madam is here. Nikki
Hi,
madam is
Nikki.
here. Toshiba is here. People from people watching you. Kirti is here. Everybody is saying hello to you. Nikki,
There, when
Nikki.
because people see me as a peaceful person. People see me as this person that they can walk over. I am not. I am not. And people think I don't have problems. I do. Even in my community, the people in my community, they will see that I am having challenges, but they don't even comprehend that I have challenges because I make myself and I want to share a quote with you if I may.
Please,
It's
please.
a very the quote says, when I despair, the quote, when I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love has always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it, always.
Always.
Mahatma Gandhi. They always fall. So no matter how powerful somebody is, or no matter how they look like they're thriving, truth, peace, and love will always win. Always, no matter how desperate you get. And when Mahatma Gandhi said, when I despair, it was very hard for him when he despaired. And so,
Wow.
all the things that we are going through, global peace, let's talk, all the places that are talking about peace must
Yes,
come back to people like Nelson Mandela, must
yes,
come back to Mahatma Gandhi, must come back to Mother Teresa, must come back to Dalai Lama, because these are the foundation. Mahatma Gandhi never got a Nobel Peace Prize. He never got a Nobel Peace Prize. And I don't know, and he's the founder of every movement for peace.
yes. You
Every
know,
we have to find a way. My
right.
if you speak if you ask me my impression of who I think I look like in spirit, and it's not because you're Indian, not because you're from India,
Yes.
I would say Mahatma Gandhi.
Wow.
Because
That's really
as a
good.
child, I saw this man, this picture of this man, this little man, this small man with his glasses, his circular glasses, in this white robe, and he sits like this. And this one tiny little man has touched and cast a stone into the water and made a ripple over the entire globe. This one little man.
Yes.
And so I think I look like that little man.
Wow, that's really great. And Tamika, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi lived in different times, different phase, and different opponent. But both leaders changed the, you know, destiny of their people for better. And if you do better for other, you will get better. I believe in this.
You know, there are
Yes.
so many people across the world who are of like mind. And so our energies come together. Maya
Yes.
Angelou, Maya Angelou says it. And the answers that we seek, they are already there. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Wow.
Maya Angelou stated, nothing human is alien to me. So we have to find a way to realize that the same things that make you laugh and make you happy, make you cry, make you sad, make you sick, make you well, is the same thing that makes me in Jamaica, someone in Africa, in China, in Russia, no matter where you are in the world, we are human beings first. And for you to get to this place, I am so happy Nikki is here this morning
Yes. And
because Nikki,
as
there's a part of me that she loves me dearly. But
Yes.
in order for me to thrive, in order for me to thrive, I cannot be somebody that I am not. I am not a person that connects. When I connect with you, you take some of my energy, and I
Yes.
cannot connect with everyone. So I choose who I connect with. Non-violence. I choose non-violence to achieve peace. I will choose it today. I have chosen it as a child. I have always been the peacemaker. I
Wow.
choose it because somebody has to. I remember my husband telling me when I was about 28 years old, and I was fiery then. Oh my God, I was fiery. And I want to change the world, and I want to open people's mind and explain to them, you have to be peaceful, no confrontation. And he looks at me and he says, they're going to kill you. I don't want them to kill you. And I look at Mahatma Gandhi, and they killed him. And I look at Martin Luther King, and they killed him. And so my garden is also a retreat. I hide there sometimes. But the plants, we're going through a drought in Jamaica. It was so dry, and we have no water in our community. We survive from rainwater, so we have to harvest the rainwater. So it's a very challenging task to
Yes.
be the carer of this garden. And then every year I get desperate when it's a dry time, but then the rain always comes. This year it was worse because of the volcanic ash and because of the Sahara dust that we're getting. But the rain comes, and I am okay. So if you look at life, you asked me again earlier, what is nature to me? God is the gardener. He created this garden, and God is the gardener, and I am a gardener, and I'm a child of God, and I am God.
Wow. Wow. That's really great. People must understand this. And Tamika, it's really great to have word with you, and your every line of your every word are so much. I'm feeling so blessed and inspired. You work as executive vice director in Global Peace. Let's talk. Could you please tell us something about Global Peace? Let's talk, and what is your role there? I mean, what you do?
Global peace, let's talk for me, is the determination of a woman. I I know before it started, I it's the determination of a woman to step through a door. And what she has done, what Nikki Depina has done, and I'd like the world who is listening to understand, is when doors close, don't cry over it. Don't waste a moment and be sorry for the door that's closed. Because once one door is closed, if it's your door, it can never close. And if a door is closed on you, nail it shut. Don't go back through it. Open your own door. And that's what she did. She opened and stepped through her door. And she
Yes.
found like-minded people to come through that door. And I am an artist. I believe art and culture are intertwined. Art is the only way that we can record our history. All this technology and the bit this and the bit that is going to go. And only something on a canvas or the walls of a cave will record what we are going through. So, art for me, I am the guardian of the arts and culture, along with Elphas in Global Peace Let's Talk. I love to write because of the pandemic and the constraints mentally for myself, my family, my community. I have not
Yes.
been able to do as much as I know that I can do. But physically, I can only do so much. As the vice director, I only work when the director is absent. No, that's not true. We work together in the executive to help with policies and so on. But the reach is the same. Global Peace Let's Talk is the reason why I am here today. You found me through that. And so we have to find the doors that channels what it is, the message that we have to teach, not preach, to teach. The messages that we would like people to learn and to say, this is what we can do. But Global Peace Let's Talk is a way of saying, let us find a peaceful way of speaking. Let us talk it out. Don't fight it out. Let us talk. And if there is peace in this world today, I am sure Nikki will morph somewhere else. But as long as there's the opposite, this dialogue must continue, and it will continue through our stories, through our conversations like this, and we motivate other people that we can do it. Nikki is not she's not a 16-year-old. She's not 30. I won't go to your age, Nikki, but she is not a baby. And if she can start a movement like this at her age, she's also telling other women. And you said it earlier, women are no longer in the back. We have never been in the back. We have been so silent and strong. We are so strong that we have allowed our men to do it.
Yes.
But when those men come to bed, we are the ones who tell them, this is the decision tomorrow. And he goes and he does it, and we're okay without the credit for it. It's just now the world, it turns. It's turning, and we are at the point now where we are frustrated with what's happening across the world with our children. And unless we, Nikki, Global Peace has me, I have made a friend in Global Peace. I thought Nikki and I were close, but my closest friend in Global Peace is Elfas. I can talk to him about anything. I can talk to him about anything within Global Peace, and at the moment's notice. And because he understands me, he has taken the time to understand me. And that is what you can ask for. And if every person in this organization, Global Peace Let's Talk, finds one other person that understands them, we're okay. Because I don't have enough to share with 10 people. I love the entire world. But that energy where somebody sees, where you're raw, you can only do it with a few people. So Global Peace Let's Talk is about spreading peace. It's finding ways. It's not just talking about let's be peaceful. It trains you. If you go to her WhatsApp, the training page, I can't even follow it because it trained you, and you get the time to go over it in the areas that you need training in. And then they're putting things in place. They have done before jumping off while all of this is going on. It's registered. It's a company. It's a business. And she has her directors and the people who will listen to each other, and she listens to us and we listen to her. So it is a business, and it's an organization that I am happy to be in.
Thank you. It's your words are magical, Tamika madam, and I'm feeling so happy and blessed. Thank you so much for sharing your story, your things, your thoughts, and I really appreciate. And we wish my foundation, Jeho Foundation, our sister concern, Kirti Care Foundation. She is also working in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
We want to thank you for your words, your positivity. Thank you so much.
And the sun is rising.
Wow.
There.
Wow. Beautiful morning.
It's a wonderful morning.
Yes.
It's a wonderful morning. Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
So
have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Namaste.